Hey friends, today we'll be showcasing my matches against RYG. I usually watch my replays after each match. It's kind of a habit I picked up while playing competitive sports in college. Speaking my thought process usually helps me sort out my post-match analysis, and I hope that all of you tuning in will learn something as well. So we are playing in a community-initiated tournament. It's called Teamwars. There are 14 teams participating in Season 1 for a prize pool of $560. That's quite a sum for a community event, and I bet you Season 2 will be much bigger. If you're looking to play, the link to the Discord will be in the description below. The Team Wars format is a best of 3, best of 3. Each week, teams will send 4 players to compete. Seed 1, 2 and 3 of Team A will fight the respective seeds of Team B. The winning team of Bout 1 will remain, and the losing team can choose to swap in the substitute with any seeds for the next match. No side decks or trigger changes are allowed for any players once the deck list is submitted. So, the position of the substitute is actually a critical role as well. The winner is the team with 2 bout wins. So the Swiss round lasts for 6 weeks and you will fight 6 random opponents, and the top 4 teams with the most wins at the end will enter the playoffs to fight for the champion title and prizes. Today's game is really special because not only is my first tournament, it is also my first game. Not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous going into it, all the more because our opponents this week was RYG1. I'm pretty sure this team isn't unfamiliar to most players because they are the team that consists of all the top rankers in each season. And because I'm slotted in Seed 1, I'm fighting against RYG's team leader, who is also the top ranker of Season 2, RYG Chalice with his 4 SP ranked art Dragonic Overlords. But honestly, Vanguard 0 is heavily trigger reliant, so whoever is luckier and makes less mistakes should win the game. Anyway, I will refer to Dragonic Overlord DN as DOTE because DOTE? Some of you might pronounce it as DOTE, but it's really the same. DOTE, DOTE, tomato. So let's begin match 1. Before that, let's take a look at the deck that I submitted. A little different from my Legend 69 ladder deck, as I took out Alfred early for Soul Saver Dragon. I started with a superb hand. I even got my lucky SP MLB. I was definitely thinking if I want to use Lian to drop K, but against DOTE, it's always good to keep a grade 1, especially to hit a cross-right DOTE. But I got so excited I forgot the most important thing. I forgot I threw back my Star Call and I forgot to use Gunslot's effect. Yup, he definitely denies a counterblast here, and I didn't draw any grade 2s. And from this mistake right here, I already lost the game. You could clearly tell that I was triggered internally. It was such a stupid mistake, and because of that I chose not to attack, because there was no way I could deal with so many perfect guards at this point if he searches for a perfect guard with Conroe. I would rather take damage and get counterblast and pray for defensive triggers into a Blaster Dart or Star Call. And oh my god, he wrote Bengal Brave's worst enemy, Tejas. This was another huge blow to my formation. I chose the Gunslot now because I wanted to shuffle my triggers. Normally when you draw grade 3s, the next cards are usually not grade 3s. But this was pretty fucked up because I didn't get a draw trigger, but thankfully I also didn't draw a heal trigger. So he used the counterblast to get his Bari. I gave him 2 counterblasts and he decides to destroy my booster. My star call went into the damage zone. Drawing Palamedes again. Now I need to throw bodies while I still have health. Another star call to the bottom of the deck. That's very bad because I only play 2 star call. I can only hope to draw my Blaster Ducks now. Wow, more heals. This is really difficult for me. I'm taking way too much damage. What the frick? Another Palamedes? I have no choice now but to give up on the combo. And I didn't get a trigger here. I was seriously getting tilted this game. And he keeps getting his draw triggers. He only has 13 cards left in his deck. I should assume that he has about 3 PGs in his hand by now. But now my chances of winning are really low. Trigger check, 2 Blaster Ducks. Are you kidding me? Here I was thinking if I should give him another counterblast. He will most likely be able to use the end's skill, which will put me in a more unfavorable position, but my only way to win now is for him to deck out. He is making this greedy play because he has a huge health advantage. Wow, double triggers. And another trigger. Wow, such a one-sided beating this game. And it all started from the first gun slot mistake. We quickly move to match 2. The first hand was pretty good. Maybe it was a way to redeem myself. Now that I have all the pieces in my hand, I chose to attack him, and was nicely rewarded with a defensive DOTE trigger. Ouch, berserk my Vanguard, but that's okay because I already have all my pieces. The heal was good for him because now I can't force his perfect guard out this turn. Another DOTE defensive trigger that's really good. His hand is huge though, now with Conroe adding another perfect guard to his hand. I would assume that he would have at least 2 perfect guards now. Ouch, so many counter blasts. But I drew a Soul Saber Dragon, oh my god. I really need grade 2 intercepts for the next turn. He only calls out 1 intercept this turn. That could mean that he doesn't have another intercept or another grade 1. And he Persona Blast, which more or less confirms my theory that the other 2 cards are perfect guards. But now he has 2 more unknown cards. I hope that they are heal triggers. So I top deck a Guncelot. This is actually the best draw, but I made another fatal mistake here. I didn't use Soul Saber Dragon's effect. That would have allowed me to hit 3 hits this turn and take out his 2 perfect guards in his hand. But my thought process was that Soul Saber Dragon can't save me. The only thing that could save me at this point was to open a heal trigger, and if I do survive another turn, I would use Soul Saber Dragon's effect then. Because he might also have a hit nail to kill my Vanguard booster in his next turn, and that would mean I would miss lethal. But sadly I didn't survive. A crushing 0-2 defeat, 1 game with a stupid mistake and another with 0 heals. This really pissed me off. My teammates were trying to keep me cool, but what I did was I went to change my profile. No more playing like I'm the weaker one, no more bringing happiness to you. Now I'm going to be the evil Aichi, the power of Psyqualia in my cards. So for match 3, I'm going to show the actual clip from the live stream because he has all the fancy right effects and skill effects, and I also get to see what he has in his hand, which is also better for me to understand his gameplay. We begin match 3. I got all my pieces, so I decided to attack. He writes Striken and he gets a perfect guard, so I now know he has 1 perfect guard in his hand. I'm just going to continue hitting him since it's an open field. I'm also going to leave my field open so that I'll get more damage for counterblast. And there it is, the shiny Dragonic Overlord. He draw triggers a DOTE that's 1 down. Now that I actually see his hand, it's pretty good. He draw 2 DOTEs and he has 2 perfect guards already. He's just missing intercepts. Here I'm going to do a power play since there aren't any intercepts on his field. I managed to kill 2 perfect guards this turn, which is great. I even drew a gun slot, my next turn will be good too. Now he is drawing hard, he wants to get his last DOTE and his last PG. Getting grade 2s will be good for him too. Unfortunately, he triggered his DOTE and still no intercepts for him. Now it's my turn, no intercepts means I'm going to hit hard again. Now he gets a heal. Okay, so he decides to berserk my Vanguard Brave. It is actually very crucial for him to do that because it prevents my MLB to hit without a boost, and it also prevents me from using Vanguard Brave skill to find intercepts. And true enough, it really puts me in a spot now since I have no grade 1s in my hand. I decided to go ahead and attack. I was thinking whether I should call out my perfect guard to boost MLB. There didn't seem to be a way for him to hit 4 attacks on his next turn, but I didn't want to risk anything. Maybe I should have done it because it could have cost me the game. Sadly, I didn't draw a trigger to take out that last PG in his hand. And this turn I took out his last PG. A good choice for him to use Monk to drop bar because he gets another intercept. But he shouldn't be able to win now unless he gets a 6 damage heal. Here I got a double heal for the final blow. Wow, he did manage to get a 6 damage heal, but at this point there was nothing really much he can do because of my double heals. His last draw trigger drew him a striker. That's GG. And he left the game. Was he tilted, or did he just want to go to the next match as quickly as possible? Either case, I think he shouldn't have done that because it was quite disrespectful for the caster, because he gets kicked out of the room when someone leaves the game. Anyway, moving on, match 4. I decided not to hit because I didn't have all my pieces. This match was pretty brutal. He got a Tejas to kill my Vanguard Brave. Things were not looking good with so many draw triggers in my hand. I'm glad he drew that heal trigger. and he used a DOTE trigger that's good for me. And amazingly, I managed to draw trigger Gunslot. And I drew my lucky SP MLB. That's a great sign. I threw out my Palamedes because it was pretty useless in my hand anyway. It is the same as why he threw out his grade 3 heal. It would be nice if he kills my Palamedes instead of attacking me, but against RYG Chalice he wouldn't fall for this kind of stupid trap. Looking at his hand now, it is pretty scary for me. He has so many units that can blast my intercepts. An amazing draw trigger to get his DOTE, and another heal trigger. His heals are pretty much on point at this stage. Now this round I remembered very clearly because it was the turning point of the entire game. First, I got a heal trigger, and this moment I took out 2 perfect guards. This was a really big blow to him. He had to accelerate the pace of the game now to finish me off quickly. He also managed to take out one of my PGs, but at this point I'm really not too worried because of my significant health advantage. And this turn I took out the last PG in his hand. Ooh, a clutch top deck getting that DOTE. Calling out 2 intercepts burning MLB booster. What a turn for him. And now DOTE skill. Oof, he got a double bar. That was a really terrible draw for him. At this point I'm getting wasted heals, but I'm not that worried cause I'm controlling the pace of the game now. And oh my god, this top deck Blaster Blade won me the game. The chances of getting Blaster Blade is high because I could have gotten a Gunslot as well. And another heal trigger to add more salt to the wound. Will he get a 6th heal again? He does not. An epic last DOTE for the final check. GG, well played. Man, that was intense, at least for me. The final score was a much needed 2-0 victory for DPP to qualify for the playoffs. Looking at today's games, there is no doubt in the skill levels of RYG players, and I worry for future teams they are going to face because RYG is going to turn on their Psyqualia mode as well to ensure a revenge match against us in the playoffs. Do leave a like if you enjoyed this post-match analysis and subscribe for more Vanguard Zero content. See you in the next video.